Hi, Steve here. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to talk a little bit about hope, inspiration, and where I find it in my everyday life, and where you might find it too if you choose to check it out. And the number one place that I can find it right now currently in my life is I like to listen to music. I like to watch YouTube videos, of course, and I try to look for, basically what everybody else does is some kind of entertainment or something that's interesting. And right now, I think the best singer in the world, in my opinion, is Angelina Jordan. There's people that like other singers, and there's a lot of talent out there. I won't go through the whole list, but you probably have your own favorites. And what I like about her is a number of things. I thought I'd just run down through that list real quick. You tell me what you think. Why do I think these things are valuable, and do you agree with me or not? That's up to you. We all have our own tastes. For example, I don't like strawberries, okay, but I do like asparagus and Brussels sprouts. Go figure, right? Maybe it's the green versus the red. Who's to say? But in any case, let's start with Angelina. A couple things. If you don't know anything about her, she kind of rose to fame, or internet fame, if you will. She competed in Norway's Got Talent, which is where she's from and where she used to live. She lives in the United States now, Los Angeles, but she's from Oslo. And after bugging her mother, I guess, for a few years, her mom finally signed her up for Norway's Got Talent. And Angelina was the ripe old age of 7 years old. She went on to sing 4 songs in that competition. First one was Gloomy Sunday by Billie Holiday. Next was I'm a Fool to Want You by Billie Holiday. Then there was Bang Bang by Nancy Sinatra. And the last one was Summertime it wasn't Billie Holiday, and I can't remember the lady's name, but it doesn't matter. Everybody knows the song Summertime, I believe. If you don't, you can check it out. So she won that competition. She beat out everybody else, and it was amazing to watch the whole thing. There's actually a video on YouTube you can find. It's got all 4 of the performances. It even shows them crowning her the winner, not crowning, but announcing her the winner at the end. It's very touching in a lot of ways, but it's so surprising to see what a 7-year-old girl can do. Sometimes you have concerns about things like that, especially with kids, that maybe the parents are pushing her to do things. They're making her whole life about singing and music. They want to make her a star and all that. That doesn't really seem to be the case here. Her mom is there with her all the time. Her grandmother is a great inspiration to her and is with her basically all the time. She has an uncle, I guess, that acts kind of like her manager, and he's also there all the time. And the reason I say all the time is because even when there's practice sessions and so on, sometimes they get behind the scenes kind of videos that they do. They're all kind of in the room. They're there. They watch. They protect her. And I think the mom said in one interview that they wanted her to finish school before she really pursued the music career. And of course, that's admirable, because some people, like movie stars, little kid movie stars, they have somebody come teach them on set or in the trailer on set and all that kind of thing. But in this case, they wanted her to kind of have as normal of a childhood as possible. They did allow her to go on the show, and it went well. She won. So obviously there's talent there. And she's absolutely amazing. And throughout all this, and right to now, this is another thing that makes me think her mom especially, and her grandmother have had a big influence on her that's positive, in my opinion. I'm no judge of these things, but this is what I like and this is what I see. This is what I see and I like. Let me just do it the other way around. She's classy. She doesn't dress like a lot of the ones nowadays dress provocatively, if you will. And I think that's unnecessary. If you have true talent, you don't really have to dress it up too much. Just sing, and that's what she does. She typically doesn't use any kind of electronics to enhance her voice or change her voice. She just did a FIFA award song, I'm the Best, with another guy called Red One. Don't know the guy, never heard of him, but she sings with him, and he plays the guitar and sings too. And some people say that she's got auto-tune on her voice there. I know the guy does for sure. You can hear it. And maybe Angelina got some of that because he's got it, and I don't know whether you can put it on one, take it off the other, who knows. But Angelina doesn't need auto-tune. If you watch her video, she's got, I think, 130, 140 videos on YouTube of different covers she's done. She's also done her own original material. She's got several songs that are just, it's hard to believe that somebody has that much talent at that age to connect with people, especially me. I'm an old guy, right? I mean, I should only like people like Led Zeppelin and Moody Blues and Queen. Of course, Queen was one of the greats. The Beatles, those kind of things. That's where I came from. I'm 68 years old, so I was born in 55, and I was around during the hippie era, Woodstock and all that stuff and all those kind of bands. When that's all there was actual instruments, actual voices. There was none of this modification stuff. And that's fine, whatever. I mean, times change and things change. Technology improves and gets better. And nowadays everybody likes to use auto-tune. That's up to them. I don't really care. If it sounds good, it sounds good. It doesn't really matter, does it? So back to Angelina. So then she started putting out these videos on a fairly regular basis, and if you have a chance, go check out her website. Go check out her. She's got 2 channels, Angelina Jordan channel, and then she's got a cover channel, and you can go and she's got all kinds of material there. And if you like to listen to good music, sometimes this is the kind of music you can listen to all day long. You could put put it on your TV while you're doing whatever you're doing at your house, and have it in the background just playing. It's so awesome, in my opinion, and awesome in that her voice is unique, but it's also very it can be anything from moving to emotional to happy to just sometimes you're just awestruck. You listen to it and it's like, how is this even possible? She is fantastic, in my opinion. There's a lot of other good singers out there. I'm not discrediting anybody else. Everybody has their own thing. But for her, the thing that she does for me is the emotional attachment. She's made me cry I don't know how many times. I hate to even say it. I'm a man and I'm not supposed to cry, right? But in my opinion, somehow she connects to my heart and my soul. Don't know why, don't know how. She just does. Also, to run on through, she performs barefooted. One of the reasons she performs barefooted is that she had an experience. She went with her parents to the Middle East somewhere, I think it was Jordan, and they saw this little girl that was about Angelina's age. At that time, she was 6 years old, I believe. And the girl was basically a street vendor. She was poor, and she had somehow came upon a bathroom scale, and she was weighing people for donations of money so she could survive. She had no shoes, and Angelina happened to notice that her shoes or her feet were dirty and, marked up and all that from not having any shoes. She entered into a conversation with the girl, and Angelina asked the girl, said, "So don't you have any shoes?" And she said, "No, I can't afford it." And Angelina, and the girl said, "You have nice shoes." And Angelina said, "Would you like them?" And she took her shoes off and gave them to this poor shoeless girl. And through the conversation with the girl, she had asked the girl, the street vendor, what her dreams were. And the little girl said she'd like to be a doctor, but she didn't think she'd be able to. And Angelina, at 6 years old, said, "Don't give up. Always follow your dreams." Isn't that something? 6 years old. And a 6-year-old giving this little girl her shoes? Are you kidding? Any 6 years old I know, they're going to fight tooth and nail not to get anything up, right? Now, a few of them might share a toy or something, but take off your shoes. And then later on in an interview, Angelina even said it was some kind of green, I don't know shoes, but some kind of a greenish color. It says one of her favorite shoes, and she gave them away to this girl. Now, if that doesn't touch your heart, I don't know what will. So she also promised the little girl said she'd pray for Angelina. And Angelina made a decision. I don't think she told the girl this, but she made a decision to perform barefoot the rest of the time that she was able to perform, as a reminder that there's children in the world that don't have things. They don't have shoes and so on. Still to this day, 17 years old. That was when she was 6 years old. Still to this day, at 17 years old, she still performs barefoot all the time. Some people have said in some videos they think she had her shoes on for this part or that part. She did Suspicious Minds recently by Elvis Presley, and she walked in with some blue suede shoes on, basically. I don't know if they were suede, but they were bluish. And she took them off. She always takes her shoes off before she performs. She wears shoes other places. She doesn't go shoeless all the time. But before she performs, she takes her shoes off. And I haven't seen any time when she didn't have her shoes off during a performance. She does have shoes on occasionally in some videos here and there when she's not performing. They're like music videos where there's, they show pictures of her doing other things and then the music's kind of in the background. But anyway, that tells me what her soul is like, what her whole personality is like. And when I say she's classy, she's usually covered up. She doesn't have the bare belly and all the other things. She dresses in a classy style that you don't really see nowadays. At least I don't. So there's all that. Her voice is beautiful. She's a good person, and she's charitable. She's raised, at one time, there was one documentary on her that was a few years ago that said she'd raised something like 24 million euros to feed kids, for kids that didn't have food and so on. pretty impressive. She was part of a bunch of other people, but there was like a fundraiser. And for her to participate in, she was young, 10 years old, something like that, probably. I think it was 10 or 11. Awesome. All awesome. Everything about her seems to be really good. I hope it all stays on track. We're a little ways away. She's just 17 now. I remember the 27 curse. There was a lot of famous musicians that were really famous that got to 27, and that was it. That was the end of the road. And if you never heard of that, you can look that up too. I think there's 5 or 6 of really famous people that died when they were 27. And I hope that doesn't happen to Angelina. She seems to be on solid ground. And I wish her, of course, all the best. I hope she lives forever and is able to inspire and touch people from this point on. I believe of her that she has the ability, I believe, to bring the world together through her music. Everybody listens to that and is touched by it. Then at that moment in time, we're all touched by it. There's been a few times in musical history, especially where there's been some big concerts. Of Live Aid by Queen is one example, where it brought the world together at that moment in time, all together on the same page for the same thing. It's a beautiful thing. I wish there was more of that, especially right now when everything seems to be so divided. And I think she's the person that can do it. So that's just me. Might be somebody else, but she has the ability, I think, and the skill. Not, I don't know what skill. It seems to be in her. It seems to be in her, and it just comes out. I don't think she really has to work at it terribly hard. I think it's all a part of her. So I think I'll wrap this one up on that front. I'll probably do a few more videos of Angelina. I've listened to, I think, all of her videos many times. I've heard them over and over again. I like to watch reactors reacting to Angelina because I know I was shocked and I was had my reactions, my emotions, and so on. And I just like to see other people, what they think. Maybe it's just me, right? Well, it's not just me. It's a lot of people. So I guess I'm not that unique or special in that regard. She touches a lot of people. She seems to really touch older people, 50s, 60s, and so on. And I think that's because we came from an era of actual music, actual instruments, what do you want to call it, mechanically enhanced voices and so on. We came from that era. So we appreciate that authenticity in the music. So anyway, I think I'll wrap this up. That's my Angelina rant for today. I hope it wasn't too boring. And I do encourage you to please, please, please go and subscribe to her 2 websites at least, or go check them out. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to subscribe, but I think you might want to. And that way you'll be notified when she puts out new videos and so on. She does have an album, I guess, coming out later this year, so I've heard her say. And I believe that that'll probably happen. And it's probably, I think it's her first actual album. She did put out a Christmas album a while back with 3 songs on it, but they didn't call it an album. They called it something else. But in any case, she has an actual album coming out this later on, and like me, a fan of hers, I can't wait. Okay, it's going to be awesome. I know it is. And she also has original songs that are fantastic. At that age, to have that kind of talent, it's special, man. You don't find that very often. And I hope that all goes well for her, Angelina. I wish her nothing but luck and everything that she wants. I hope she gets. You have a nice day now, and that was good. Thanks for watching.